Hello, welcome back to Cooking with Kim. Today have I got a special treat for you. First of all, the guest on my show makes it possible for these videos to actually be, because I can take care of going to heaven and cooking. Those two things are as old as time itself. But putting them on YouTube and making them editable, that is on account of my grandson, Isaiah Culp. And he's with us today. Actually, he's usually behind the scenes. But today he's going to share with us an encounter that he had in heaven where he got a recipe from an angel. How about that? We called it Angel Fudge. And I'll just give you a little backstory on it before we get started. Isaiah, Trinity, and Arizona were all at my house, and they were young enough that they needed babysitting. And you can tell Isaiah doesn't need a babysitter anymore. But it was right near Christmas time, and they were wild, as children are at Christmas time. And so I said, okay, everybody go lay down on my couch. We're gonna go to heaven. And I have a big pit group in my family room, so everybody's stretched out on the couch. And I said to them, close your eyes, and I want you to use every piece of your imagination to imagine what I'm going to describe to you. And when Jesus comes to take you on a tour, I want you to say, okay, out loud, so I know that you've connected with him and have stopped connecting with me. And so pretty soon I started by saying, imagine this beautiful gold field, all full of this golden wheat. And there's a gold path made out of solid gold running right through the middle of the field, and it's smooth and it stretches forever. And just by that time, all three of them had said, okay. And some of them were talking out loud and they were telling me stuff, So Isaiah, why don't you tell them what you saw? What happened?
Okay, well, first what happened was we did that and it was kind of like floating for me, like floating up to heaven. And then when we got there, we did a lot of stuff like we saw people that have passed and stuff like that. And after a little bit, I went off and I saw this building, and I went inside the building, and it was like this big circular kind of building, like in the inside, and it goes up really high, and there's little shelf things, little holes with scrolls in them. And then an angel told me to pick one, and I picked one, and then I read it off, and while my sister wrote down, and that's how we got Angel Fudge.
So what did the angel look like?
I can't exactly remember. It was kind of like it was wearing white clothes, kind of like a dress, like a normal, typical angel kind of thing. But I can't remember the face.
Yep, I don't remember the faces of angels ever. All of them I've seen.
I can remember it kind of floating, like not flying, but floating.
Yeah. Okay, so this is, can you get a shot of this right here? This is the original Angel Fudge. You can see by the writing that Trinity wasn't very old. Isaiah started reading it out loud, and Trinity grabbed a piece of paper and a pen and wrote it down. And so we're really thankful because now we still have that recipe today. Here is a bigger copy of it, and this is what we're going to be making today. So I'm going to turn the burner on here on medium, and we're going to add all of the ingredients. We've got milk and sugar and Karo syrup. When he first came to me and said, I have a recipe from an angel, we need to make this fudge, I thought, oh my gosh, what are the chances of an 8 or 9-year-old boy actually successfully making fudge? I hope this is God, because if it's not, this is not going to turn out at all. And so we're adding the marshmallows, and it turned out really well. And so we knew it was the Lord, because there's no way. Had you ever made fudge in your life? No.
I don't even really cook now.
Yeah, and especially not at 8 or 9 years old, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm not a real fudge fan, so I never make fudge. He had never seen me do it. But today we have an exception. Now we're gonna mix all of these ingredients together in the pan, just like the angel said. And we're gonna bring it up to a boil. We have our heat set on about medium. And we're gonna cook it for 5 minutes. And so as soon as it starts to boil, Isaiah, you can set the egg timer for 5 minutes.
So just use that later?
Well, not until, yep, you're gonna turn it all the way around and then bring it back to 5. But not until it starts to boil. So I want to talk to you for a minute about an experience that I had in heaven with a chef who God told me was Napoleon Bonaparte's chef. How about that? I was sitting with God right by his throne, and this short little guy, all dressed like a chef with a big hat on and the white apron, the whole shot. He steps out from behind the throne and he has a whole plate of cookies and he's like, "Would you like a cookie?" And I looked at Papa, I'm like, "You guys have cookies here?" He's like, "Yes, and you're gonna love how much energy they give you." And so I was like, "Okay." So we both took a cookie and he says, "You're gonna love these cookies." This guy was Napoleon Bonaparte's chef on Earth. And I was like, "Whoa, this is blowing my mind." And so I take a bite of the cookie and just shoot off like a rocket clear to the Milky Way. And Papa God's right behind me, he's coming, and so we stop at the Milky Way, and I said, "Wow, you weren't kidding when you said those cookies gave you some energy." And he's like, "You know, I designed the cookies on Earth to give children energy like that, but moms just don't appreciate it." If you don't know God very well, let me tell you, he has got an amazing sense of humor. So anyway, he looks at me.
Maybe we'll put this in the safe here.
If you want to. He looks at me and he says, "Not it," and he tags me and disappears. So I see just the very edge of his glory, like shooting out in the darkness. And I grabbed hold of it and I ended up among these ships, like in Thailand. You know, they were like wooden boats, kind of docked, and they were like houseboats. And I don't know, I just knew I was in Thailand. So I'm searching around, walking on the water, looking for God. And I all of a sudden spot him, and right when I spot him, he disappears again. So I grab onto his glory, and he, next place I end up is the Great Wall of China. And I'm inside a huge archway, and it was so cool. It smelled like dirt and musty smelling, and it was dark and damp feeling on my skin. And I'm looking around and I'm thinking, you know, he can't be hiding too well because it's dark in here and he's full of glory, right? And all of a sudden I spot him, and right when I spot him, he disappears again, right? And so I chase him several destinations, and finally I catch him on this mountain in Colorado. And he's sitting up there on the top of the mountain, and the wind is blowing in our faces, chilly. And I grabbed hold of him and I said, "I got you." And he looks at me with this really serious look on his eye, and he said, "Will you chase me forever?" And I said, "I will. I will chase you forever and a day. I promise." And then that was the end.